When my friend Jade confided in me about her daughter's diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, later followed by a diagnosis of bipolar disorder, I felt an instinctive need to distance myself. As humans, our survival instinct often causes us to perceive anything unfamiliar or outside of our understanding as a potential danger, prompting a reflex to withdraw or avoid it. I noticed my thoughts racing as I grappled with the desire to support her while feeling overwhelmed by the weight of the topic. Unsure of what to say or do, I defaulted to offering hollow platitudes, hoping they might somehow fill the uncomfortable void. At the same time, I felt ashamed for judging her, yet I couldn't stop wondering what she might have done to cause this, or why she hadn't fixed the situation. After all, this was her child. Having now been on the other side of the aisle, navigating the difficulties of supporting a young adult I've known for years through similar diagnoses, I wish I would have responded with curiosity rather than judgment. When 1 in 5 adults in the US, nearly 60 million people, are diagnosed with what we currently speak of as mental illness each year, it's time to pay attention. It's highly probable that someone in your family, friend group, or work environment is suffering, and likely that you have personally been affected by this pervasive problem in some way. I ask you to consider some sad statistics. The fact that many more don't receive a diagnosis at all, let alone help. I invite you to observe your reactions to these stats as I share my own biases before I knew what I now know. 1 in 20 adults experience serious mental illness. Do you wonder at what point a mental illness crosses that line to be considered serious? In a world that increasingly leans toward the tendency to label any challenge as a reason for taking a mental health day, resiliency takes a back seat. Yet young adults in particular seem to struggle with facing adversity head on, opting instead to retreat at the first sign of discomfort, which creates this cycle of dependency on external validation and relief rather than developing the inner strength needed to persevere through tough times. As parents, spouses, and friends, we don't know the difference. It's difficult to determine if we are affected by our own unconscious biases or responding appropriately and getting the right help is challenging. 1 in 6, 6 to 17-year-olds experience a mental health disorder each year, and suicide is the second leading cause of death for people aged 10 to 14 and 25 to 34. If that doesn't break your heart, I don't know what will. Still, there remains an unconscious bias that dismisses the statistic and fails to respond compassionately. Minimizing mental health struggles is common and often seen as a sign of weakness or oversensitivity. This perspective maintains that mental health disorders in young people are simply a result of bad parenting or a lack of resilience, overlooking the real complex factors at play. Judgment rather than support reinforces stigmas and prevents open, compassionate conversations about the importance of addressing mental health issues in our youth, young adults, and adults. Stigma surrounding mental health often prevents individuals from seeking help, as they fear being judged or misunderstood, or they don't even recognize what is happening. Even with groundbreaking research showing that certain diagnoses, once seen as helpful, may now be doing more harm than good, the healthcare system remains resistant to change. New solutions and healing protocols are available, but the stigma continues to obstruct progress, making it harder for people to access the care they need and for the system to evolve. Watching a person you love suffer from anxiety, bipolar, or even Alzheimer's, depression, schizophrenia, dementia, and other metabolic brain disorders is a significantly painful experience. It can leave the caregivers and loved ones on a slippery slope with their own physical and mental wellness. This channel is dedicated to sharing real life experiences, both mine and others, with a focus on how to preserve your own health and wellness while navigating the complex challenges of helping the people you care about. My goal is to share valuable resources, cutting edge research, encouragement, inspiration, and wellness tips that are helping me through one of the most challenging times of my life. I invite you to join me and share this channel with anyone who may benefit from it. Every day, you'll be faced with appearances and circumstances that claim that the pain will never end, that you have no control, and that the person you love is lost to some crazy illness. Every day, you'll encounter people who blame the person that you know is a victim, possibly blaming you. And if they're not blaming you, you might be blaming yourself. Every day, you'll also have the opportunity to learn something new about yourself and what's possible for the person you want to help. Every day, you'll have a chance to expand your perception, become wiser, stronger, and recognize your agency. Call me crazy, label me what you will, but it's unacceptable to me to believe that we have to spend more time, energy, and effort adapting to what we call illness and accommodate it rather than fighting for health and well-being. People are inspired not by what they know to be true, but by what they believe is possible for them. What can you believe is possible? If you'd like more support or want to support those you love who are struggling, please sign up for my newsletter where you will be notified of resources, updates, and support groups. And remember, everything you do to support yourself enables you to better support those you love and guide them to healing. Thank you for being here.